Welcome to Chicago. It is late at night, so let us play.
Hardest part of this damn show is being quiet for that 20 seconds.
You say as we go by.
Right there. Oh, yeah, just trying to get it out. How's everybody doing? Good morning or afternoon, wherever the hell you are, or happy YouTube. Catch this whenever. We have a full cast today. I'm so excited about that. So welcome everybody. We're coming down. It doesn't feel like the end. It feels like a brand new beginning is what we're coming into. So many things are changing in the city and in the coterie. Oh, sister, you weren't here with us last week, or yesterday, I should say, but big doings across the board. Julian making deals that is going to propel him to the heights of both Kindred and mortal society. He's going to have money. Lilith, you kept your job, but you've strayed and become an out-and-out brouhaha.
Mm-hmm.
You not regretting that decision. You seem to be very comfortable with yourself now.
Yeah, she's feeling pretty good in her own skin now.
Now, I know your big inner conflict now is Camarilla or no.
Right.
But there isn't really a war right now between the Camarilla and the Anarchs. It's a surprising amount of peace that's happening in this area. The machinations that are around you have to do with First Light and the Second Inquisition. It has to do with the Sabbat on the other side of the world and in other cities. So for here, this isn't a major life choice, but it is one that's going to come up for you.
Right.
And
yes.
Arthur, going on to you. You got a big tournament happening tonight, man.
It's going to keep the ball rolling.
You're going to find some new talent. You went down to Hate Church, met up with Reverend Ezekiel, took 3 of his guys to come up and represent. Now, if any of those 3 end up going to as far as the championship, you're going to have to, come up with a little arrangement with the Reverend. He wants a taste.
No, of course, it's all good business. You
are expecting a tremendous turnout tonight, and it's going to be a lot of fun having this tournament. For the rest of you, I think if you show up, you might even be able to bet on these, and we'll see who makes some money.
Yeah, Arthur would have definitely sent out invitations through his circuits and the people he knows, and
make some money.
Yeah, and Arthur had them definitely delivered to invitations places he knows his coterie would receive them.
Nice. So you've each received very nice invitations.
Are they nice?
Are they nice? Yeah, I show. They were delivered. They were written, but
it's like you just take you just rip the lid off of like a cardboard box and just Sharpie it up. No,
it's just a paw print.
Yes. Oh god, it's like in Skyrim. Just we know. No, it's they're they actually are quite nice. Very much. They have a kind of Roaring 20s, like speakeasy invitation vibe going on.
Nice, excellent. Well, that's for the tournament, and the tournament is going to be the first thing that really happens. Happening earlier in the evening, since a lot of the invitees are going to be kindred of like yourselves. The contestants are all mortals. Arthur is out there judging some talent, trying to replace some of the men he lost. To accident and otherwise. But then, later in the evening, you will be going to the Elysium with the Primogen Council and all the movers and shakers of Kindred Society of Chicago, where you will finally answer the question of whether the new La Sombra will be invited to join the Camarilla or no. But until then, we get some fun, I think. So as we rouse for the evening, everyone should throw down some dice and tell me how you're feeling with your hunger.
Quick question.
Yeah.
The Brujas, they have a choice between Camarilla or Sabat, or is it just the Bruja that are currently in this city?
There are some Bruja in the city. Critias is the main Bruja. He's the intellectual type. But Genghis is an anarch Bruja who is allowed in the city. He lives here. He works here. He, does his thing here. But he is an anarch leader and not a Camarilla subject.
Okay. But they're not Sabat. They're not, you don't just say, oh, if you are Bruja, you are Sabat. It's not.
The Bruja and Sabat don't go together.
Okay.
Sabat and La Sombra go together. Sabat
Okay.
and, Setites and those types.
Where is my...
Bruja are usually split between the Anarchs and the Camarilla simply because of their differing mindsets. Now, everybody's rolling out some hunger. Ooh, Julian, you're good. Sister, you're good. Lilith, you're hungry.
Yes,
But
I am.
did you just feed? Where are you with your hunger? Totally.
I had 1 dot, so now I have 2. So, yeah.
2's not too bad for you. You are
Right.
used to that kind of hunger. You can go and feed if you feel like you need to.
There's something I'd like to do first before going over to the tournament, and that would be attempting my best to track down my stalker.
Oh, it's easy to find a stalker,
Especially
what a
early in the
profoundly
evening.
creepy statement.
Well, because last time I
Has
was struggling
layers.
to find him, but I think earlier in the evening he'll be kind of looking at what I'm up to for the night before doing his own thing.
Indeed. Then let's take you out to your row house in the back of the yards. It is, of course, not this bright out. There aren't many streetlights down this street. It's got a good amount of darkness. And if you look out your front door and up and down the street, give me a wits awareness roll.
Let's see here. Awareness plus wits.
Yeah, plus wits, and get over a 4.
Or
Throwing out.
nothing.
Well,
Oh my gosh. Can I spend
you could spend a
willpower?
willpower and re-roll.
But it's just up to 3, right?
Up to
So
3. You can hit a couple of 10s in there and you're in good shape.
That's true. Okay. Got 2 successes that time.
Well,
At least
here's
it's better
what
than nothing.
I wanted you to have a 4 to immediately notice where he was or what he was doing. This is going to
Yeah.
take you a little bit of time.
Right.
So say you blow about an hour in your neighborhood, going up and down the streets, in and out the alleyways, checking dumpsters. I mean, you got to look everywhere for him. But you'll find him eventually.
Okay.
Huddled in a corner, twitchy.
Yeah. I will say to him, I've been looking for you. Will you come back to my house with me?
I'm hungry.
I can help you with that if you come with me.
With that, he'll go with
Okay.
a promise of food.
So, I've got a question for you, storyteller.
Yes.
Can you just feed him?
You went
like-
robot on me for a little bit, so say that again.
Shoot. Can you feed on, can I attempt to just feed on him?
You can.
Yeah.
It will hurt him and make him hungrier unless you drain him all the way.
Right. And that would be what I would intend on doing.
If he sees you come in to bite him, he will try to fight back.
Yeah.
But if you successfully roll a strength brawl better than his, then yes, you can.
Okay. So yeah, once I get him into my house, I would turn to him and, start trying to come on to him, I suppose. Saying things about like, there's been so much that I've learned over the past couple of days. I want to show you, and just kind of slinking close to him, and maybe if I touching his face, caressing it, and going down his back and grabbing his hand and pulling it.
Yes,
up.
you are a different kind of feeder than a real, brawler. So what do you normally roll? Manipulation, persuasion?
Let's see. It's
Or charisma?
charisma subterfuge.
Charisma subterfuge. Roll that then against his composure resolve, which let me check. I don't actually have a sheet for him, so I'm just going to roll this as 4d10.
God fucking. Oh, okay. So I rolled a 4. Well, 4 successes.
You get there. Yes, you did. All right. Oh, and so did he.
Can I?
He notices, and he's not really falling for it.
Can I use willpower to reroll?
You can. You might have to.
Yeah, and just the 2 dice that failed. Let's see here.
Because he's backing off. He's backing away from you.
So I got another 2 successes.
That will give you the boost you need to be able to come in and feed off of him.
Okay.
This is for you a tribute.
Yes, very much so.
This is for you an offering back to your goddess, and a way of rectifying a terrible problem. This is your illegitimate sire. An accident, a youthful mistake. You will drain him. I won't make you roll for that. He goes almost willingly. He was never a good vampire. He didn't know that it was coming. He wasn't prepared, and he was never trained. So with sadness, and with an offering to your goddess, and with the promise back to your city that you have solved this problem, he lays dead in your hands.
I would have brought him up to my room, and now I would need to put him somewhere so that a sunlight ray would catch him once the sun comes up.
You can either leave him by the window and rip down the boards that you have up protecting it from the sun. You can put him outside in a lounge chair. He will turn to ash at the first sign of sunlight.
Yeah.
You can slake all of your hunger. So you are down to 0, feeling fresh as a daisy. And you have moved up along your lore path and closer to Lilith.
So, all right.
Damien was looking into this, though you, at the time, pled ignorance. And obviously, it'll never be a problem again, and he never identified who was actually doing it. So it'll be up to you whether you want to explain this to him and say you've taken care of it, or if you choose to just keep it to yourself.
I would just keep it to myself.
Probably a wise choice.
Yeah, at least at this point. Yeah.
Well then, this all has taken you a little bit of time, and you will arrive over at the Lion's Den for the big fight, probably right as it kicks off.
Okay,
So
that works.
you'll miss the mariachi music or whatever they have set up earlier. There'll be some kind of a show. Who knows? Maybe Damien will even bring baby chorus.
Yay!
Well,
Sure.
let's leave Lilith there with her deeds done for this evening.
She literally just drained her little fledgling.
Yes, she did.
Yes, I did.
Completely he had dead.
He's dead.
Mm.
Okay.
Sister, how are you feeling this evening?
Character-wise, I guess I'm feeling great. Not hungry.
You're not any hungrier. Were you hungry when you rose anyway? Were you carrying any hunger with you?
Well, that's the thing. Last time I played, I had actually drank down to 0. I was
Ah.
sated. So
Well, you don't. You didn't do anything last
Yeah.
time around with us, so
so
we
still
didn't.
0.
We didn't manipulate your character sheet.
So she's at 5.
No, no, no. I'll be hangry, and that's scary.
You know, interestingly, one of the things you haven't gotten that hungry during this entire chronicle,
Mm-mm.
and I've always wanted you to.
Why?
Because you have a thing that happens when you get hungry. Do you
Yeah,
remember? even?
Yes. So that's why I don't get hangry.
This is one of those things that I think is between you and Reverend Ezekiel. As I believe he knows this about you, that when you get hungry, you present those jazz hands.
So bad.
That's a terrible way of putting it, but it's for you. It's not a faith thing; it's a
No.
hunger thing, exactly.
Yeah.
But it looks faithful. It's probably one of the reasons you're Mother Superior, when you think about it.
Not my fault people are sheep.
To show the stigmata in the midst of I don't even want to say it was a prayer for you, but some kind of focused penance,
Mm.
when that's what it looks like in the church anyway. To you know it's just hunger, but it has propelled you up the ranks. And Reverend Ezekiel knows the truth.
Yeah, well, he's kind of a douche.
He is. He's an awful person. He is just terrible.
I don't know what you're talking about. He's fantastic.
Reverend Ezekiel was a young man during the time of Lincoln, and he wasn't a fan. That's
Lord.
This is
He
like tall
has-
people.
he doesn't like hardly anybody. But last week at Hate Church, you found, well, you didn't find, but you would have discovered him making a underground army out of the caitiff of the city, the unregistered, unlikely vampires, the ones that the Camarilla doesn't even know about or chooses to turn a blind eye to. He'll be at the Lion's Den tonight.
Son of a bitch. Okay.
But the Lion's Den should be a ton of fun tonight. There's a huge boxing tournament happening. Are you going to go?
Well, gee. I mean, do I have any forewarning that he's going to be there? Or is it just like my friend invited me to a boxing tournament?
Well, now, he had invited you to Hate Church and you turned him down, knowing that Reverend Ezekiel was going to be there.
Oh, so
Well-
I did know he was there.
Yes, you'd heard he was back in town, and the Hate Church is definitely his thing.
His thing.
What Arthur probably hasn't had a chance to tell you is that he went and found some talent for his tournament tonight to fill in at the Lion's Den, and that these were some of Reverend E's men. So he's there to watch their progress at this turn. Your choice. But I give you the opportunity to stay with your coterie. I believe everyone's showing up.
Yeah, I'll go.
Then head on over towards the Lion's Den if you don't have any hunger to slake, and we will catch up with, Julian. How are you this evening, Julian White?
Apprehensively okay.
Tonight is the big Elysium. All of the Primogen Council are going to be there. The Prince, Sheriff, everyone who's got a concern with the La Sombra. You suspect that this is going to be the moment the Prince makes everyone aware of the La Sombra's intent to defect as an entire clan to the Camarilla. How do you feel about that?
Less optimistically apprehensive, just more apprehensive.
Apprehensive.
There's one thing I know, it's that the Camarilla can't handle the La Sombra. They are weak and ill-equipped, and they lack foresight. So if they can barely handle me and I'm trying to fit in, I can hardly imagine.
You've had an example of two Sabbat La Sombra. One of them is Sierra Van Burris, who's a very proper young lady, seems to work with power and money very well. She is the heir to a hotelier fortune. And then there's Malenkov, her kindred brother, who is as dangerous a man as you have ever met. These are two completely different sides of a personality.
I disagree. I mean, I convinced him to walk to his death. He
made an amazing humanity role, considering what little humanity.
What's a humanity role?
Well, okay. He sought for humanity that he didn't know he had inside of him and rose to save his sister.
Yeah.
Not you.
No. I brought up his sister so that he would do that.
Yeah.
It just goes to show, I feel like the rumors of the duality of the La Sombra is somewhat exaggerated. We're just better. We're still people, though.
Scusi, he walked to his death?
Not yet.
TBD.
Oh, okay. I was like, wait, what?
He didn't kill all of us, or me, and he was going to teach me how to turn into that shadow creature. But I turned him down.
Malenkov has a suspicion that the La Sombra, if they were to be able to join the Camarilla, would be forced to bring a heavy price of admission. He knows they all can't come. So
sacrifice.
For his sister's sake, he's going to show up at the Elysium and give her the ticket price to get in.
So I think that the possibility of helping to guide the La Sombra into the Camarilla is fascinating. I don't want to be Prince. That sounds like a lot of trouble. But I'll gladly run it.
He'd rather be the power behind the throne, the shadow behind the power behind the throne.
Now we're getting I don't need people to listen. I don't need people to know that they're listening to me. They just have to listen to me. So this worked out pretty well.
And this has been a challenge for you this entire time. The Ventru Prince has such a distaste for you.
It's survival instinct. I mean, I don't begrudge him that, but damn, I want to rip his throat out. But now he's fine. He's fine. He's whatever.
You will meet him tonight after the huge tournament that Arthur is throwing.
Yeah, I'm going to go. I'm going to take my, have Narvin take our wireless interrupter. And a copy of all of Baby Corsh's music with him. And
You want all of Baby Court. Now, mind you, Goodbye Chicago is the hit.
I want the pre-recorded, like I want the masters. I want to hear the rough cuts too. I want it all on there.
You want to isolate the vocals like
art is a process, so I just want us to all be able to, if I choose to, experience the process together. And I'll take some earplugs as well.
I'm just going to throw this out there. If you isolate the vocals on Linda McCartney on any Wings song, you'll get probably the same effect that Julian's going for here.
Dope. Yeah. Oh, and I'll check my bank account.
It's not so much your bank account, but you're starting to get good information about where to put your money. If you have some liquid cash that you can move around, there's some good investments that'll pay off quickly. There's a couple of companies that you suddenly know are working on a merger behind the scenes that hasn't been made public yet.
So I'm not ultra wealthy yet? Is that what you're saying?
I'm saying you start moving your money in the way that these hints are coming towards you. This is how you get your wealth.
Uh-huh. All right.
You're right.
I'm just looking for the outcome.
Let me ask you this. What is it that you would want to buy that you can't already buy?
I want to know that I can when I want to. I want to be liquid, and also have a vast amount of investments. I want to be ultra rich. Anything money can buy, including...
We're doing this on a day-to-day basis.
I understand that. I mean, they made promises. I'm just trying to make sure that they uphold their end of the bargain.
He wants to swim like Scrooge McDuck, okay?
That too.
He wants to jump into some coins.
Yeah.
Just hedge your bets, invest in Industrial Light and Magic and the Disney Corporation, and you'll be set. You'll just get some insider stock and you'll be good.
This is what's happening is you're getting all kinds of tips and trades and places to put your money where it's secure, and these tips are coming from your friends, your new shadowy, you're uncertain who they are directorate friends.
Here, Martha Stewart's and everything like that.
Yes. Thanks, Martha. All right, cool. I'll head over then.
You'll head over.
Mm-hmm.
Narvin isn't answering his phone though.
Okay, well, this is why, and you wonder why I asked if the money was in the freaking bank. This is why. Does he have a GPS on his phone?
He didn't get one of the new V phones, but he does carry his own technology. I think you can find him like a little friend finder on your.
Yeah,
you didn't tag him.
No, he's not a freaking animal, Gangrel. I will go to findmyphone.com and I will try to find his last GPS. I'm worried that he didn't.
He's a ping will come back. That's unfortunately close to the lake. He's down by the Navy Pier.
God dang it,
Nappa. I love Dragon Ball Z approach. Okay. Vegeta. And so I will. Vegeta here. I don't want to go to the lake, right? That's the shadowy place.
Well, it's not comfortable for any kindred. It's
Marvin.
Okay, I'll go.
The unpredictability of it all. It's even on a calm day.
Okay, I'm going to go.
Tony, you're horrible.
Is there any? Are you going to go to the lake and find Narvin?
I mean, I feel like if I send someone, that would be like cheating. I will. Yeah, you're right. I'm going to send a guy first. And I'll follow behind him without telling him that I'm doing that. Because I want to see if he blows up or something.
Complicated, but okay.
No. Just a decoy car to die first so that I can turn around if I need to.
Okay. This will take you a little bit to set up, but not long. You've got people around. You've got cars. How was your hunger? You woke just fine, right?
I was fine.
And how is your hunger now? You're good?
I'm 1.
You're at 1? All right. That's normal for you. So, yeah. The car will go to the ping that you got from the GPS. You'll find Narvin's personal car under the docks at the Navy Pier in a parking space close to, but just within visual sight of the water. The retainer in the first car ahead of you, he'll pull up nearby to Narvin's car. He'll take a look in the window. You see him knock on the window. He actually goes around to the driver's side and opens the door. A body falls out.
I roll up the window. I press the intercom on my car. Describe it.
Sir, his throat's been slit. Quite wide, quite deep.
I get out the car and I walk over.
It is, as he said.
Does it look like it's been slit by like a knife or claws or?
It's very clean. So whatever did it was very sharp. There's a lot of blood. He wasn't fed upon.
Okay. Is his phone on him?
Oh, yeah, that's what you got the ping from.
I'm going to pick up his phone and I'm going to look through it to see if he, did anything to try to alert me to who this was or.
You don't see a text or anything, but you do see a call that had come in, late last night, I guess, early this morning. It was an international number with an 039 code.
039, is that
Country code?
Fiorenza?
It's Italy.
Well, you answered. Dump the body. And I get back in my car. Take the phone.
Your retainer will take all the personal effects, make sure that the body is disposed of, take the car to a chop shop, take off the plates.
And I head to the gym.
Then, to the lion's den it is. And I am sorry for your loss. Arthur, you've got a hell of a turnout for tonight.
Yeah. So first things first, because I got hurt a bit dealing with Malenkov and his weird tentacle tasers.
That's true.
So I'd like to unfuck myself a little bit before tonight.
Certainly. You're at the Lion's Den, but the crowd is filing in. You've got ticket takers. You've got the green room all set up with a bunch of hulking beasts ready to throw down against each other. You've got some time. It'll be a couple hours before things kick off. You got some early show entertainment, some ring girls, some music.
Good music. I don't know what I'm glaring at, but I'm glaring at something. The gangrel sense tingles.
Yeah, the music hasn't changed yet.
Yeah. And he's probably had the same, 15 songs in that jukebox for the past 30 years.
That one jazz tune.
Yeah.
Just you can spot it's a profiling song.
Like that one, either from New Orleans or they're one of us. Okay. So yeah, let's. Woke up. I guess it default back to one hunger because I ate my fill at Hate Church with some Adam's apple tart.
Yes, you did. Didn't you leave him just dead on the floor?
Yeah.
So that was 0, and then you woke to one hunger today?
I got an 8 on the rouse check. Does it stay at 0 or does it default back up to 1?
Oh, no. It stays at 0 until you fail that rouse check. So if you're still good from the night before, you're
excellent.
Still good.
Did you say Adam's apple tart?
Yeah. Delicious.
What?
He
ripped out a guy's throat with my teeth.
Yeah.
Great.
He went for more than just blood. He went for a pound of flesh and two as well. But it was a very free and open sort of, very hippie-ish in that sense. Sort of an anything goes kind of club.
Hate hippies. Those guys.
But super liberal down there.
Yeah. For sure, hate hippies are just werewolves. But yeah, let's see if I can't heal up in this aggravated damage because that was not a fun time.
That was a touch of oblivion.
I've seen the universe. All right, yeah. That's a hunger. But hey, now I'm just gonna
heal. You're just gonna get hungrier along the way.
Yeah. And this might just be Arthur's paranoia, but let's heal. You can just keep rousing to keep healing.
I think you can do a maximum of 2, but you go ahead and do your second one.
Hey, that's as many as I got. So let's do it. And that is a 6.
Okay.
So that's I heal again with no additional hunger.
No additional hunger. So you're good. You didn't have to call on your beast to make this go away. But boy, it still tingles. Malenkov just grabbed you and sent a force like nothing you'd known, searing through your body.
Wait, Malenkov hit him?
Yeah. Malenkov picked him up with his shadowy tentacles and then just buzzed
tased me.
At Hate Church?
No.
Well, they had to. Oh, sorry. You probably. Malenkov did not respond well to Sierra's invitation to come to Elysium, so Damien asked Coterie to take Sierra over there and sort of reason with him. He reasoned a little bit harshly with the gangrel, but the other La Sombra was able to get through to him.
So that's okay. Okay, cool. Thanks. Ouch. Better you than
however,
me. It's okay, but like it's like you said, I'm just the gangrel. No reason for anyone to worry.
He also demonstrated some of his greater powers to Julian while everyone was out of the room. And
hopefully Julian's Sharingan was active.
He hasn't stopped drooling since, I'm sure, because Malenkov became a shadow. Literally a creature of shadow that could climb the walls, wrap around you, cover your mouth, and tighten. He was able to do all kinds of things that even this La Sombra has never seen. But he has agreed to show up to the Elysium tonight in deference to his sister, Sierra. He expects the worst. And he's not here at the Lion's Den, thank God.
Oh, he didn't get an invitation.
No.
I just-
For the fight tonight, it's going to go up the scale, starting with the flyweights and moving up towards the heavyweights.
All right.
I've got a tournament board, but I don't have your guys' names. I just have the 3 that we picked up from Hate Church and the names of all your competitors.
Right. Let's.
Do you want to?
Yeah. Let's get some names really quick. Good old Fantasy Flight generating names. Well, there's. I already know one. That's Hendrix.
Hendrix. What size is Hendrix?
Oh, that man's a gorilla. Definitely heavyweight.
Okay, I've got room for 2 giant heavyweights, a 2d8 and a 1d8, 1d6.
All right, yeah. Think like Mad Sweeney. If you've seen that, like American Gods, like very much, like huge fucker of an Irishman.
And what's his name again?
Hendrix.
Hendrix. With an X or a CKS?
CKS.
All right, Hendrix.
He plays a different kind of music. Sweet Chen music.
All right, I'm going to make him your big-time heavyweight.
All right. Then let's do Lemoyne.
Lemoyne?
Lemoyne. He there's for a availability for a lightweight. Yes.
Oh, you want him in lightweight? Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be a like lightweight, like MMA type. Found him when Arthur was down in New Orleans.
Let's see. He says I'm getting a note that says Lilith's pictures in the way.
Yep, I see it on the stream.
You guys aren't looking at the tournament?
I see that, and then on the Twitch stream, it shows that, but Lilith's picture is over top.
And hey, if she wants to fight, and we're just equal opportunity here at the Lions Gen.
Oh, you know what? I don't think that's me. Sometimes Roll20 locks up and leaves a picture out there. So what happens, Will, if I go back to here? Is it still there?
A camera person should click it. Whoever's on the camera feed, I think.
Yeah, because I don't have it on my feed at all.
Same.
Okay. Bummer. Technical issues again.
I just wanted
right.
to be in the middle of everything, so.
Yeah, I think that's a Roll20 thing on Will's side. I am sorry, that's probably going to stay there for the rest of the episode. But I'll try to make this small enough that we can move it around. All right, so Lemoyne's a little guy.
Yeah, he's
perfect.
He's like a mongoose.
All right.
Small, fast, but really fucking angry. And let's do the last one, Chavez.
Chavez big? What is he?
We've got.
I got a couple of middleweights and I got a heavyweight left.
Let's put Chavez in the middle.
Okay. All right. Work. Man.
We'll have the other heavy just by his moniker of Buck.
Buck.
He's not getting my vote.
Just Buck.
Yep, just Buck. I'm not sure he can pronounce anything or even say anything more than 4 letters.
Then I got one more spot, it looks like. Pick it up.
Let's do Kincaid.
Kincaid. I
Ah,
love it.
nice reference.
I'm surprised you didn't get Kojak Hendricks, too.
I got that. I
Okay,
just
good.
didn't know it was purposeful until the until the Kincaid one.
So I've got the lineup. You're all taking a look at the tournament chart there. Where it says HC next to the contestants, that is somebody you found at Hate Church. On the right-hand side of the list are all the people who are fighting against you and their affiliations. FSG is Franklin Street Gym. Anon is the Anonymous Gym. CPAL is the Chicago Police Athletic League. BC is Broken Charlie's. And the 2 heavyweights come from the Blood Disco. It's
so many fun names in these places. I love it.
It's going to technically be a 3-round affair, but if the lightweights end up against a heavyweight, I don't think that's going to be a fair contest. So you probably just have 2 champions in 2 different divisions.
Yeah. Maybe we could always have, if there's a David and Goliath story.
We could try it.
We'll let the sister narrate that one.
As everyone else shows up and the Lion's Den is kicking off with a big fight tournament for the evening, you have an option to place your bets as each fight comes up. So does anybody want to throw down some money on any of these things? The first fight of the evening is Tiny Mite, a Hate Church Filipino whose real name is nothing but a series of consonants and clicking noises. Versus Willem.
Wow.
Franklin Street Gym.
Wow.
And Willem is actually a flyweight belt holder, or was. So he's a proper champion.
Wait, hold up. Before we go on with this, I need to let you know that Tiny Mite's name is actually Jojo. Okay, that's a thing. It's either Max or a Jojo.
He's one of those Filipino guys that never bothered to learn English. He's not a Manny Pacquiao.
It doesn't matter. It would still be Max or Jojo. But go on.
Yada yada. I'll put my money out for JoJo.
All right.
It's,
Tiny Mite, JoJo.
Arthur, he'll just observe this round because he's ultimately going to be winning regardless. But he's interested to see, because first impressions are a hell of a thing, to see what these Hate Church fighters can do now in proper lighting.
Hey, sister, you want to throw down a bet?
I am not drawing any attention to myself whatsoever right now.
So just the Calypso outfit and...
Just in case, I'm still very, you can see me hiding behind crowd or people are close to my coterie.
A lot of people are here, and the Reverend Ezekiel is in the room. He hasn't noticed you because you don't look anything like yourself.
I want to keep it that way. Thank you.
Julian is sitting, if there are bleachers, he's sitting in the back corner. And he'll have someone take his bet up for him.
All right. There's actually guys running around, taking bets, writing them on cards.
He'll have somebody take the bet to one of those people.
Okay. That works for you. Lilith, this is kind of more your scene all of a sudden.
Yeah. I'll probably be standing close to the ring, ideally, maybe next to his sister.
Oh, yeah.
But I want a good view for sure. And I'll stay out of this round, but once this next one's come.
All right, so we just got Julian throwing some money down on this round. we'll just chalk up wins and losses, and we'll see how we do.
Yeah, you can't take it with you.
This is just a D4 fight, which means it's just little tiny guys, little flyweights. They're fast. They're powerful. All right. Well, let's see how they do.
No mods, the D4.
No mods, just 1d4. We'll see how this round goes.
And this will be rolled in roll 20 because World of Darkness, all I have is D10s in front of me. So
Good transparency, finally.
oh,
Roll a 3. Now, I'm going to assume you are taking on the home team, so you are rolling Tiny Mite's numbers there.
Oh,
yeah, sure.
All right.
damn.
What's Wes rolling?
No, I just wanted to see. I didn't roll the D4. I just wanted to see.
Okay. Here comes the. Oh, and yes, Hate Church's Tiny Mite is going to take this round.
Yeah.
Isn't that exciting?
Impressive, most impressive.
He's
Dun, dun, dun.
He's
I
skilled,
won. JoJo.
and you did.
What a bizarre adventure he must be on.
That's why I say yada yada.
The next round is a slightly larger, but will still compete against Tiny Mite in the next round. That's Downbeat versus Minimus. Downbeat was one of the guys you found down at the Hate Church. Minimus is part of the Anonymous crew, where they all take on sort of Latin names. Fake Latin names, obviously.
Okay.
Anonymous all the way.
Anonymous all the way. Julian's got 1 win. Go for Anonymous. In round 2.
I'll actually flag down and discreetly give and follow Julian's lead on that one.
Oh, okay. Julian and the sister.
Arthur's spending most of the time like being the playing host, going around schmoozing where it needs to smoosh, especially making sure that Ezekiel is being entertained.
Oh, he's thrilled after that first round. Tiny Mite coming out with the big win against a former belt holder. Oh, absolutely. He's thrilled.
Yeah, he's giving congratulations where it's due.
Yeah, absolutely. Rubbing down
but-
his head right now. Dude.
But mostly he's as he's like doing the slow circuit around the ring, talking to people, making nice. He's always got an eye on the ring, studying their forms.
All right.
Arthur's been doing this for lifetimes, and so he's got a very critical eye.
Well, roll down beats 1d6.
Okie dokie.
There we go.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Only.
Nice.
Sorry,
These
I
Hate
meant to
Church
roll that
boys
one.
don't fuck around.
Meant to hit that once. All right. And here comes the. Oh, damn.
Wow.
I don't want Tony to roll for us no more.
No, lower number's good, right?
No.
No.
Big
Oh.
numbers the
Other
winner.
way.
So,
Yeah.
and Alex's Arthur's rolling his locals. So that was I can't keep going back.
Damn.
That was the win against Minimus.
Fuck.
So for that round, it's going to be Tiny Mite and Downbeat, both coming out of Hate Church, fighting for the low end of this tournament. Julian's got 1 win, 1 loss. Sister has 1 loss.
1d4 versus 1d6 for them.
Yeah.
This one is going to be a D6 D4 versus a D6 D4.
Oh, okay.
Those two will be fighting a D4 versus a D6, but we're going down the line here.
Oh, okay.
We're at Lemoyne versus Sweet. Sweet coming from the Chicago Police Athletic League. He's got some skills. They have a local athletic club. Teaches good rudimentary boxing skills.
And
Lemoyne is your guy.
yeah, being one of his boys, especially going against the police athletic team, is just like, no, they mine. I pulled you out of that little shithole in Bon Tem, and you are going to do good by me today. You make sure he crawls out of that ring, if at all.
Ooh, Lemoyne is inspired.
Well, I always am one to support the community and the work that these law enforcement
Oh shit!
people do. It's just fantastic.
Really
I'll
wants-
put my money on Sweet. I said.
Sister, Lilith.
Lemoyne for me, please.
Oh, sister wants Lemoyne.
I'll
I gotta go
start
for the little
next round.
guy.
Yeah, I would if I didn't have obligations.
What was that, Lilith?
I'll put a bet next, John. I'm not interested in these little guys. So
Okay, you're waiting for the heavyweights.
yeah.
All right. But you know what? If you're ringside, you're catching a lot of speed and you're getting hit with some sweat and some blood. I mean, it's some good stuff.
Yeah.
There's a good fights being thrown down. All right. How do you roll two different kinds of dice and roll 20? I think I just got to roll them one at a
Probably
time.
just
No,
or the
yeah,
command, right?
/R.
/R space 1d6
Yeah, 1d6 plus.
plus 1d4.
Oh, I actually I don't even think that. Yeah,
So it shows you a 5 and a 2. So
Damn.
Jeez.
That's my boy.
Lemoyne crushes this round. Damn, taking out Sweet. Sorry, Julian. 2 losses down.
yeah, I agree with Calypso's comment that like you're not doing a good job representing us.
All right, you're right. I'll tell you what. I'll let you roll this one if you want.
It's a lot of responsibility.
This is a
Yeah.
D10.
You can't do it, but I don't want to.
It's much more comfortable from this way. Like there's zero. Like I can't blame myself.
Yeah, exactly. You can blame me all day long.
Yeah, it's good.
Chavez is a fairly big guy. We're starting to get into some size here. He's a good middleweight size. Going up against Maximus from the anonymous gym.
Yep. Doing the same pep talk with Chavez. Less like you make him bleed and you make him die. It's more like this. It's like Chavez. You make me proud to get you big protein. Go get him.
A little bit lighter than what you had given to Lemoyne.
Yeah,
So-
because he got a chip on his shoulder with the whole random police raid. That's still on Arthur's mind.
Yeah, that son of a bitch.
He'll hurt him however he can.
I'm
The
sticking
good
with a non.
Maximus. Julian's going with Maximus.
I kind of make a sorry gesture to Arthur, but I'm looking at the 2 fighters. I'm like, I think Maximus is gonna take this one. So
I'll do opposite. I'll do Chavez.
And Lilith jumps in for Chavez.
Yeah.
betting is so horrible. It's tearing this coterie apart.
No. He gets all the money anyway. Like he gets a cut regardless. He's a
all
fucking
good.
slumlord.
It's all good sport.
Yeah, sure.
All right, Chavez.
All right, buddy. I'll rip your throat out if you don't mind. Oh god.
Roll a
Yeah.
D10. Let's see what happens. Oh, damn, you throw an 8.
Yeah, he's rolling good. Nice.
Tony, my dude, my guy.
He's just getting creamed.
You realize when we end up having to fight, he's gonna like have all these big rolls and kill us,
Yeah.
right?
Well,
Yeah.
look, Lilith made out on that one. She's got
Yes,
the
did.
I don't understand.
I promise I don't rig my games.
I look at
Uh,
Maximus, I'm all, it was roids. Damn it.
This is the only time Alex has ever rolled well on roll 20 ever.
Yeah, I'm riding this fucking wave, man. And don't ruin this for me.
I'm kind of happy for you, like legitimately as a
Yeah.
person. Good for
Yeah,
you,
no,
guys.
this doesn't happen. This never happens.
Well, your big Irishman is next, right? Kincaid?
I say, all right, now Kincaid, my overly sized young man. You are like a son to me, and I know it's. Bruce may or may not be Irish, but he's like that other kind of Irish. You know, the kind that you don't like. Go get him.
This is when, unfortunately, it's going to be that one knockout punch that's going to kill Kincaid. You realize that now.
Now
But-
stop that.
No, he made this big thing about it. You're like a son to me? Oh, that's instant death right there.
Isn't that cop that pulled that orphan from that burning building? My money's on Bruce.
Do you want to roll for Bruce and take the pressure off of me?
No,
Of course.
we've covered this.
He's gonna heckle you. That's
I gotta get some enjoyment out of my losses.
Who's betting Bruce? Who's betting Kincaid?
I'll do Kincaid. I'll just go with Arthur's people for now.
All right.
Yeah.
your patronage is appreciated.
And sister?
Right when you said children, I went from, oh, okay, Bruce.
Go orphans.
Which way you going, sister? I
Oh,
wanna-
I'm going
No,
with Bruce.
You're on.
You go with Bruce?
Yeah. Because go orphans. They're so tasty.
Yeah, exactly.
All right. So you got 7. I'm gonna bring some heat here.
Come on,
Come on, Bruce.
King.
Come on, Bruce. Bruce. Bruce is killing me.
Down. So,
Tony.
Bruce goes down so hard.
um,
Are
Oh.
we actually serious?
so Arthur is definitely gonna insist Kincaid get a tattoo to commemorate this victory and call it, have on across his back, and calling him the Orphan Maker.
Oh, jeez.
Can he even spell it?
Yes, that's why it's on his back, so he can't do it
Can't see
himself.
it.
Well, Lilith, congratulations. You're up to 2 wins.
It's like
Yeah.
ORFINMKR, Orphan Maker. All right, this is
I can't explain the dice. I apologize to everyone involved.
There's a
You're-
Beastie Boys song about it.
years of Roll20 fucking me. I'm finally getting my karma. It's all happening right now.
I guess odds are true. They do eventually come around, even when they don't seem like it.
Yeah, and when I have to run a game on Monday, it's gonna be garbage again.
Yes.
This is how it is.
Fair enough. So, up to the next round, McGee comes out of the hate church and he's fighting off against Phil. Phil from Broken Charlie's.
Okay, Phil.
Broken Charlie is actually an old boxer from the 1950s and 60s. He's a decrepit old man, but he teaches great boxing skills. And Phil
here?
is, yeah, he's here. He's the little guy with the cane and the face in the back. Yeah, he's the one that it's usually waving the cane around, like, don't do that, and then slams it
Get
back.
dropping when you swing with your right, you bupkis. Yeah.
That's that guy. You're dipping your shoulder.
It's
So
good old Sifu. I ate a Sifu just like that, complete with the cane. It was great. All right. Arthur will go sit next to Broken Charlie, and he'll indulge his age and curmudgeon the fight with Charlie.
it's like sitting next to Burgess Meredith.
Yes. All right.
He has wisdom. He's got. He's interesting. He smells, kind of old.
I don't care about this fight.
This is a D8 and D plus D4.
I'm going Phil, by the way. I don't know if you heard that earlier.
Oh, sister's got Phil.
I just like the name.
Julian's sitting out this round. Lilith, who's your taste?
Alex's or Arthur's guy.
McGee, right?
Yeah.
Still sticking with McGee.
Hey, Wes, since you're not
Okay, I'll
Sit-
do it.
you roll.
I-
Thank you.
Yeah, I'll help you out.
Watch is gonna.
It's 1d8.
And 1d4.
He's gonna ace both rolls.
Please, please, please.
Oh, that's wrong. Slash R.
Not just me.
No. No. It didn't happen. I told you I didn't care about this fight.
I
Hey, man,
disbelieve.
the hometown crowd is really getting their money's worth tonight because it's. You look at the lineup now, man. It's all the competitors are. Everybody you invited is losing.
Wait, can I just please? I need to see if you mind.
You want to see what you rolled?
I just want to see. I just want to see because it's killing me. So /R.
Just press the up arrow, I think, in chat on your keyboard, and it will do the last thing that was there.
Might as well, or why don't we have Vindicta roll for Harvey?
No. I just
No.
So see, I would have still lost. It's fine. It's fine. I feel good.
Okay.
So nobody can beat Arthur rolling the dice today.
Apparently,
Yep.
this is his place. I guess it's his sacred place.
You're in my house.
Julian doesn't even realize he's like betting money at this. He's just like, fuck.
So in this round, Buck from the Lion's Den is going up against Heavy Harvey from the Blood Disco.
I can't vote for someone named Buck.
All right, Buck, my boy, your name is Buck, and you like to.
Yeah.
Go get him.
Donate my time.
And like to give back to the community in the form of service.
Exactly.
So Lilith's going to be betting on Buck. She likes the big guys.
Yeah.
And Julian, obviously, you're taking Heavy Harvey.
Yes.
Sister?
Same, Heavy Harvey. Dude, his name is Buck, and he likes to talk like a chicken. Okay.
Buck. His name's Buck, and likes to buck. D8, D6. This is.
I think it's because he's rolling first. That's.
There we go.
Oh.
Tony, if you roll 2 ones right now.
Drill snake eyes.
Come on now.
Yay!
those 2 tiny rolls.
You've almost partially quarter of a way redeemed yourself. Good
Heavy
job.
Harvey, the heavyweight champion. 1d8, 1d6. I love it. Oh, whew. I thought I wasn't going to win one all night.
But you won one.
So Julian and the sister each rack up another win.
Yeah.
Lilith puts up her first loss of the night.
Buck. Just throw a stick on your face. Just don't teach it. Huh? Take care of that bruise.
All right, DeAndre.
Hendrix, my boy. Show them why we call you Hammer Hands.
Hammer Hands Hendrix.
That's not what it says on here. It says Hendrix.
These are the biggest guys we're going to see tonight.
Then I want DeAndre, but I want Arthur to have to roll both.
Oh, all right. You want to roll both, Arthur?
Way to play the Hands of Fate. Nice.
That is
Just call it.
I'm never. Yeah, the first one is going to. I'm just going.
Hendrix
reading,
and then
reading order. Yeah. So first is Hendrix.
2d8, you got 1-8. And then DeAndre. Oh, does not represent.
What in the world?
It is his day today. Okay.
Oh. All right, so let's figure this out.
This is just the first round. It's fine, guys. It's okay. It's okay.
From that round, Lilith puts up 4 wins and 1 loss. Julian puts up 2 wins, 6 losses.
5 losses. What are you talking about? I didn't bet anyone.
That's right. You didn't do that one. So
I've been keeping. See, this is what I'm talking about. Where's my money?
Show him the money.
And
Been betting with like stock shares.
that puts you to 4 and 1.
Monopoly money with Julian's face on.
Coterie bucks.
It's gonna be worth a lot very soon.
Oh, it's like it'll be. You have the V phone now with Hendrix. You just need to do a vampire version of Bitcoin.
Yes, absolutely.
It's V-coin or some shit.
It's just called cryptocurrency.
Now this round's going to get a lot more interesting. The second round, we're putting these competitors together who aren't exactly evenly matched anymore. So, I wanted to do was add 1d4 to everybody's roll straight down the road.
All right.
So Tiny Mite would roll 2d4. Downbeat's going to roll 1d6 and 1d4.
All right. Do you want to roll one? I roll one, or do you want me rolling both? What is the committee decide?
I'll roll one.
No, I'm
Which
just
one
like,
do you wanna roll?
statistically, will that work though?
Well, now we get into what's essentially odds. Obviously, the person rolling more dice has the better opportunity.
Mm.
So I was going to take some bets first.
Well, there's still chance. Sorry, I'm so caught in the moment. Take bets. I need to use the restroom really quick.
Okay. So for this,
I'll go for the sure bet. Downbeat, absolutely.
Yeah. It had like same.
Actually, but it's JoJo.
Yeah, but he's gonna get his ass beat.
That's, I'll vote. I'll still put my money behind JoJo. I like an underdog.
Okay. Yeah, okay. I'm just thinking he's quick, he's fast, but
He's gonna lose.
what was that movie? What is his name from Surf Ninjas? He was also in Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the little Filipino guy.
Guerrero. Ernie Reyes Jr.
Ernie Reyes Jr., yeah. So I forgot what other movie it was. I remember he was running around and hopped on trees, and some other big dude caught him by the leg and threw him down.
The Rock. The Rundown.
Thank you. So that's what I'm picturing right now. That's what's going to happen.
Yes, agreed.
encyclopedic knowledge of bad movies.
Just anything with martial arts in it.
I'm really bad at names of actors, but I can remember it was in this movie and correlate everything. But yeah thanks.
So he rolled 2d4.
I'll roll for Tiny Mite. He rolled already.
Yeah, he rolled for Tiny Mite.
So roll for Downbeat, which is a 1d6, 1d4. And beat a 5.
No, I don't want to.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
But
yeah,
I did.
me too.
Yeah.
But I did.
Wait, did you switch your bet? You went over to Tiny Mite then?
No, you said Arthur rolled for yeah, I did. I went to Tiny Mite. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, he
I
wanted to
lost.
keep behind JoJo.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Poor
Also,
JoJo.
Surf Ninjas was an amazing movie.
Absolutely.
Just so you know.
I mean, is that like not obvious to everyone?
Some people are like, "What are you talking about, Kwanzaa, dude?" I'm like, "You don't know?"
Sorry, I didn't realize we were not supposed to talk to each other ever.
Okay. Downbeat's going to take that one.
Fuck Downbeat.
Fuck Downbeat.
He'll get Downbeat.
And then it's going to be Lemoyne versus Chavez.
All right.
So you want to do a 1d6 and 2d4 versus 1d10, 1d4?
Exactly.
God, I'm not
Chavez
good
all
at
the way.
math.
I cannot see because got someone's face in the way.
Crap,
Oh,
Lemoyne.
You can't see which.
Hold on,
Woo!
if my computer could stop chugging. There we go.
Why you gotta do that?
Oh.
Come on, Chavez.
That was
Latino unite.
Chavez's roll. It was a
Let's unite.
12.
Alrighty, come on.
Is it even possible for him to beat that?
No,
It's not, right?
There wasn't enough dice, so you got to roll another d4. But it means doesn't matter.
yeah,
Oh, yeah.
Doesn't
that
matter.
won't matter. Lemoyne, disappointing boy.
I figured with more dice, but dang, dude.
Job, Chavez.
Ooh.
There might be a job for you.
Getting tougher. These rounds are getting more and more tense.
You know, I bet my brother is like flipping out in chat because he can do math faster than I can.
All right, McGee.
So it's their base.
All right, who's betting
roll plus
Kincaid?
Let me see real quick.
I'll do Kincaid.
McGee.
On that last
McGee.
round, sister. Or Lilith.
I didn't want to.
Yeah, that's the little guys.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm doing McGee.
This one seems bad.
All right, Kincaid, you show this. You show this hate church boy how we do it here in the Lion's Den, huh?
Oh.
So it'd be 2d6 plus d4.
Yeah,
Yes.
who's wait a minute. Who's on
I just
Wait, hold on, guys.
yeah.
Lilith is on Kincaid or no?
Yeah.
Oh God.
What the hell, man?
Kincaid, you fucking murder machine.
Oh,
That's a knockout.
Yeah.
Is he dead?
mean,
Is it?
that's
Look.
a first round knockout. 6-6-4. You roll 2d6 and a 4 and you ace them all. I mean,
Yeah,
boom,
that's
boom,
insane.
boom.
So
does his
is
head
Mikey
come
dead?
off?
It's like Rock'em Sock'em. Just
I think
like
we have to
that.
Call out the medical he's leaving on a stretcher for sure.
I mean, or at least on a cardboard box or something. I don't know if they have stretchers in this part of the town, but definitely something rigid.
yeah, you see, you get a ladder and you put some pillows on it. It's basically the
Where
same
that guy
thing.
got killed from that? Was that a
Yeah.
Rocky movie?
Clint Eastwood.
Yep. So $1 million baby.
Hit it. So sad. Anyway, next bet, next match.
Extraordinary round on that one. Crowd went quiet, but now everything's back.
Oh,
Take a
Hendrix.
little
Okay.
break to get the blood off the mat, and let's move on to Heavy Harvey.
It's like,
he,
okay,
he doesn't have his dice on there.
1d8, 1d6, 1d4.
it's like, all right,
I'm
Hendrix.
going on Arthur's guy again.
Oh, I see it.
Sorry.
Hendrix,
Yeah.
if you win this, you get to fight Kincaid, which of you is my favorite.
Let's see how motivated he is.
All right.
All right.
Damn, there you go.
Let's see. Yeah, come on, roll 20. There we go. Oof.
Yay.
That
Wait.
means Kincaid is my favorite, Hendrix.
Ow. That one moved fast. I didn't bet for nothing.
17 over 16. Yeah, that was just barely a Hendrix win. Just that one. That one probably went the distance. Wait a minute. You know what?
That's the Harvey is the one that won.
No, I thought you rolled the 17. Oh, that was
That was Wes rolling for Harvey.
Oh, I thought I was rolling for Hendrix. My bad.
Oh, if
I
you
was,
were,
I was just rolling for the person I voted for.
oh, then never mind. I was mistaken.
Yeah, because he rolled 2d8, 1d4,
Yeah, that's Hendrix.
and Heavy Harvey is 1d8, 1d6.
I didn't realize that was Arthur's guy, or I would maybe not have. But the name's so cool, you know.
Alex,
You-
you wanna... Arthur, roll 1d8, 1d6, 1d4.
Yeah, because that was my bad. I slipped up on who was rolling for who. So D8, D6, D4.
You could just barely make it. Yeah.
Fucking dead.
Doing
Less than half. What a jump.
I feel good about that.
So that was Hendrix then.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. Now I've got it all right.
Cool. Okay,
Yeah.
so my boys are fighting for who's my favorite.
Wait, take a breath. Hey, look at these. What are you going to add now, Tony?
Well, I'm adding a D4 for every round, so now it's basically 2D4 plus their original dice. So downbeat is 1D6, 2D4 versus Chavez 1D10, 2D4.
Up, down, beat. Chavez all the way.
I think you're right because it's just the odds there.
The odds of the
No,
fact that I really
it's
don't like
called-
Hate Church.
It's called loyalty, and I voted for Chavez at least twice.
Oh, did you roll already?
I'm gonna roll now for
Okay.
Chavez. 1d10 plus
Who,
2.
who else is betting on?
I'm not rolling
Chavez?
yet. I'm not rolling yet.
I'm not betting on this one.
Tony looks like a total bookie right now with the hat and everything and asking for bets. It's
And
just
I'm
like,
taking notes, and trying to keep track of everything.
oh,
So
Who's got
hectic
you?
in this very small, cramped gym.
wow. Have they not, out of character wise, have they not made up their differences yet? Is that still ongoing? Did they
We
squash
weren't feuding.
No,
No, it was a pissing match, I'm sure, but
I went to his boss. So I don't know.
He told on mom. It's fine.
I don't know if they've spoken yet, but hopefully
No.
she'll get her pup in line. You know, it's whatever. I think he's trying to hunt down my FBI dude. I don't care.
Yeah. And the FBI one, Arthur doesn't even know. He wants to hurt the guy that hurt his business. Fuck that guy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So Arthur will do a small bet on downbeat, if only to wet the old father's beak. So Arthur he'll be betting for downbeat on this one.
All right, and Chavez, Julian's on him.
Yep.
Whose gym is Chavez actually from? I can't see it.
Oh, Chavez is a
He's
local.
Arthur's. Yeah.
He's Arthur. So Arthur literally has 3 people in his thing right now in the final round.
Well, technically 4 because he went and got downbeat out of Hate Church to fight for him too.
Oh, I just saw the HC there, so I thought that was
Hate Church, yeah, but he recruited him from Hate Church.
Oh, okay.
The difference is whether or not Reverend Ezekiel's going to get a taste or not.
Okay.
Yeah, your boy Arthur is boys with your other boy, the father. They're boys.
You've probably seen Arthur and Reverend Ezekiel the other side of the gym, sort of palling around and congratulating their winners.
They're like,
Yeah,
yes.
shaking hands. They're probably laughing over some sense of humor that would be completely monstrous in this year of 2019.
Another choir boy falling to the wayside under Ezekiel's charms.
No, he's just being a good host.
Lilith, which way are you going on this fight? Chavez or downbeat?
I'm not on this one.
Not at all?
No.
Could be a good fight. I mean, it's good odds here.
No.
All right.
I'm
So who's
not
going to
interested.
Chavez? Who's going to roll downbeat?
I roll
Chavez.
Chavez.
Oh, wait. Only one of you can claim.
No,
it.
not rolling. I'm saying
Who's
Noted.
rolling for it?
I believe Wes is rolling for
Oh,
Chavez.
sorry.
No, he's not.
Yeah,
I'm not.
Once upon a time.
that would have been the roll, man.
There you go.
Oh, shit.
Oh, okay.
He's got
Your D10 was
chick-
kind of low, but
Yeah.
He's got a chance. Not a good one, but he's got a chance. Nope.
Beat.
Nope.
It's not these Hate Church boys. Not all they're chalk up to be, huh? Disappointing.
Chavez will take that one.
did you say that to Ezekiel?
No.
And for the final heavyweight fight of the evening, we've got Kincaid 2d6 1d4 versus Hendricks 2d8 1d4
Well, I thought you said you were adding a D4 for each
or
round.
2d4. Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah.
2D4. Hendricks.
I'm doing Kincaid, I think.
I can't pick because they're both so precious.
So you want Kincaid, Lilith?
Yeah, he's the one who knocked that other dude to the ground, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, Kincaid was the killer?
Yeah. He
I'll go for
murdered the
Hendricks.
shit out of McGee.
I'll go for Hendricks.
I'll probably say 30,000 up front and a job to the winner or whatever.
Oh, damn.
He does have to replace Narvin, so.
You're
Sad
you're
face.
poaching my boys. My
I thought this
talent.
was I thought this was a
Uh-oh.
recruiting effort.
in
Yeah.
my house.
I told you I didn't mind if I lost. Anyway,
Which way you going, Julian?
Hendricks.
Hendricks.
Kincaid, don't kill Hendricks. I could use you both. Pretty please. Restrain yourself.
2d4 versus 2d8 2d4. This should be pretty close.
All right, boss, I'll kill him. Just like you said.
It's like, but don't kill him, right?
His wink is just enclosing both eyes.
2d6
It's-
2d4 and he comes up with a 14.
Hendricks wins.
2d8 2d4 he comes up with a 15.
Okay, I ended up not too bad. 6 wins, 7 losses.
There you go.
I was not counting. I lost count.
Lilith lost on that one. You stayed out of the last one, so
Right.
for this round you were down. But you finished up that first round really big.
Yeah.
Yes. Whew.
There, Arthur, are your champions.
Are they all from house? They are.
They're all from house. You've got a potential, if you want, to do Chavez versus Hendricks, but that'd be a tough slog.
How do they both look pretty beat and haggard?
They've gone through some rounds.
They've earned rest.
Right.
He'll give them their portion of house winnings. He'll put the share for Ezekiel in an envelope. It's nondescript and pass it to Ezekiel and say, "Please come again." It was a lovely blood sport we had today.
Are you going to make an announcement to the crowd and raise the hands of your champions?
Yeah, he's going to do the greasing of palms as like the uproar of the celebration goes on, and he'll go and he'll raise both Kincaid and Hendricks' fists, and this is why we are called the Lion's Den, because no one who comes in comes out the same.
And with that,
goodbye, Chicago.
Your jukebox starts playing.
Hendricks, Hammerhands. Would you mind doing? I'm sure there's a pinata. Go get some candy. There's that moment Arthur's smiling and just having the time of his life and his unlife, and just that thing twitch of the eye. Just like, who brought this heresy into my house? Gentlemen, I apologize for the technical difficulties.
And somebody goes over and rips the plug out of the wall. It's probably the only fair thing that could happen.
Well, they can't say I didn't offer them exposure.
As Broken Shroud is like, what kind of devil music is that?
As the tournament winds down and the people start to empty out of the gym, you have your champions, your pictures, you hang them up on the wall. You've got kind of a larger of the lightweight and a big heavyweight champion. You have a reputation around town for training excellent fighters. Your men all represented very well. You practically dominated that first round completely. Reverend Ezekiel did not get any share of the winnings. His men did not make it, but they fought well. He's proud of them.
And Arthur will still he'll give him a small cut. He won't call it a consolation prize, but so it's simply because your men had the exposure, and consider this my own investment into a bright business future together.
I'll take your money, yeah.
God, even sounds sleazy.
You'll probably notice Calypso as soon as the crowd thins out.
I didn't say shit, and I'm hiding. It's okay.
He just glares at you a little bit. His old-time leathery face. It came out of the sun another century earlier. It's still weathered the way it is. He just kind of narrows his eyes and looks at you. Gives you little jazz hands. Just to let you know he knows. It's still early in the evening, but Elysium calls. Are we ready to head over to the Succubus Club?
Just really quick, Arthur wants to take his champions aside and first congratulate them all. Make sure they've got they're satisfied with their cut of the house take. Because you boys have been training here for some time, and I'm wondering if you would like to be invested partners in my establishment.
Oh, you want to bring them in as partners in the gym?
As personal business associates of mine.
Your business associates.
That downgraded.
Oh no! They,
Stop.
no, they'll bring in given the status of champions, like the chevaliers and huskars of old, you will be representing me and my interests in a wide variety of theater.
He's using really big words for these fighters. I'm just saying.
Do you have any intention of bonding or even embracing any of these?
He won't embrace them without express permission.
But
he
do you
will,
have that intention? Would you seek that permission?
Because to embrace, you need permission from the prince and from the council.
Yeah.
That's definitely something, especially since there's been so many lost gangrel in the past few days. To rekindle numbers of assured loyalty. But those, if he cannot, definitely wants to ghoul them.
Excellent. We can make that happen.
Yeah, and said like you boys did so great, but I can provide you something, not the steroid, but to call it I sound like a snake oil salesman, but it is a bit of a miracle drug. Can make you stronger, faster, more alert. If you are willing to take on,
concerned that that somebody might detect this in a drug, drug
100% untraceable.
Then he's in.
So if he has all of their go ahead, yeah, he'll basically go and basically look like he's gonna be putting together a kind of protein shake and just put some of his vitae in the mix.
Then they will shoot it back as if it's a celebratory shot of protein and whey.
Yep. So
with a little tang to it.
This is the only thing you'd to ever know it was there. It'll take a few dosages for it to take full effect.
They smile at you like, "Thanks, boss."
It's like, I'm so proud of you boys. Go, you're the winners tonight. Go and celebrate. Just don't kill anyone else. Okay,
all
so
right,
you
kill them all.
Yes, but fucking just pulls out the fucking minigun full on Predator. It's like, no, fine.
No, not that.
But go have fun, enjoy company of whatever you please. The bar is open to you.
They feel hyped up after they've had this. They think it's the protein and the whey and the egg that was in it, but they feel hyped up. They feel ready to go. And yeah, with feeling very refreshed, they will go off into the evening and start drinking and carousing. Oh, yep. Sister, I meant to tell you.
Uh-oh.
On his way out, the Reverend Ezekiel, having recognized you in your street clothes, he's going to stop right in front of your face. He's going to say, I have something for you. And he will quickly reach into his jacket and pull out a book. It is an ancient tome. This looks old, very, very old. The cover and the back cover are actually wooden, stitched together with some frayed leather. If you just flip through the books, it's old language, old style of black letter drawing. He gives you this, says nothing more, and walks away. When you examine it, you have, let me make sure I have the name right. It is the book of the, where the hell is it?
The Necronomicon.
No, it's not the Necronomicon. This is the Book of the Grave War.
Really?
Now, this is a heretical text within the Tremere. This is Karna's story of breaking the bonds of the Tremere. This is a powerful artifact that while you hold it, what just happened with Arthur and his fighters can never ever happen to you. But it is a heretical text. It is a forbidden text. What
And he just gave it to me?
Yes.
I mean, it's like, here's $1 million in a clear plastic bag, you know.
And I'm going to tell everyone you have $1 million in a clear plastic bag.
Oh, I see. Okay, it's the target. I'm now targeted, right?
However, this is a powerful artifact. And while other Tremere and other kindred may seek it to either destroy it or learn from it, especially if you know where it is, if you're able to keep it safe, it provides you with quite a power. Just another little wrinkle.
Okay. I'm probably going to be a little panicky and not know if I should try to hide it or act normal.
Who knows? But it'll be up to you.
Okay.
As for the rest, how are you all feeling? Some did better than others during the fight, depending on it.
I'm feeling good. Pretty adrenaline ridden. Seeing all
That was
those
actually
people.
a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And once the crowd's thin, I was like, everyone seems like they enjoyed themselves, at least sometimes more than others.
Then it is time to head to the Succubus Club. Everyone driving themselves, piling together. You're all at the Lion's Den right now. The Succubus is another club not too far away. It's a downtown location. Choose your transportation.
I would drive myself and maybe offer the sister a ride. I don't know how she got here. In my gaudy ass car.
Yeah.
I will accept the offer just because I'm still out of sorts.
Oh, and don't forget if you can get your parking validated up front.
And I'll offer and I'll set and extend in a ride to everyone. But
Oh, please, Julian.
And Arthur, of course, will be bringing along Napoleon.
Yeah, Arthur will be driving himself, and he's hopefully leaving Lion's Den in semi-capable hands of his champions for the night.
You mean your new partners?
Yeah.
Well, no, not partners.
Associates.
They're my
Shovels.
my
Forks.
my right hand, right foot, and
my
something
plastic
else.
spoons.
My
Yeah.
They're versatile. There's sporks. You know,
They're
like the ones with a little knife at the
well,
end.
Yeah.
So Julian drove yourself to the club.
Mhm.
You gonna catch a ride, or
No, I'll walk.
you just take the street route
Mhm.
over to the Succubus?
Mhm.
Easy enough to do. The Succubus Club is a downtown dance club most nights of the week, but when the Kindred need it, Annabelle, who owns it and runs it, clears the place out and sets it up. Tonight, she has gone with a kind of an Egyptian theme.
Were we made aware of the dress code?
Oh, this should be a little higher end than you normally dress. Should people get changed?
If Arthur's aware of the masquerade
The primitive
for the night.
is going to be there. The prince and all of the movers and shakers of the town. I mean, you should probably clean up.
Yeah.
Yeah, Arthur will get into like a nice 3-piece.
Sister, I'll remind you that you would probably be more recognizable and more respected in your Mother Superior habit.
Okay, let's just, for this one time, imagine I'm in it, because I'm not about to. I'm cold.
Not gonna make a change. Cosplay.
Use imagination in this game. What the fuck?
Right?
How dare!
Everything is real.
Heavy lift, sister.
Julian is probably always ready for.
I'm good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lilith.
Yeah, I mean, I would gussy up.
Would you though?
She would, because underneath the gussy, she'd be wearing mismatched everything else.
Well,
Like-
so maybe like brush my hair, put my hair back of some sort, and maybe put some makeup.
You can at least look a little presentable. Yeah, turn that.
Like actually changing clothes. Right.
Turn that down a little bit so we can hear it. What you see when you get inside the club is the Kindred Society of Chicago. The prince is already here, glad-handing with all the rest. The sheriff is here. Alexis Santos, the hound, is here. Alan Sovereign, the seneschal and keeper of records, is there. There's a lot of council members that you may not even know. There's a robed-up Khalid as the Nosferatu primogen. You've never seen him before, but he's there. Essentially, all of your coterie, the Primogen Council, Sierra and Malenkov, the prince, the hounds, the sheriff, even Genghis has appeared here, having taken an interest in these particular workings of Chicago. After a while, there's a bit of fanfare, and the prince takes the stage in front of everyone. He will have a few words to say about the nature of fear and the nature of change, both of which have come to Chicago. But we fear the wrong things and we change the right ones. He will gesture up into a balcony where he sees Rosa Hernandez and says, "Rosa, show us fear and change." Rosa has a shopping bag with her, just a brown plastic bag that she tosses over the side. It hits the ground with a thump, and Flyboy's head rolls out of it.
Well, shit.
I like how all three of us instantly smirked.
The prince gestures the head, allowing everyone to recognize it, kicking it around to give it a 360-degree view. And he will tell them all. This was a product of the Inquisition. This is a First Light agent who had taken over our airport. The airport now belongs in the hands of the Gangrel. There is, as Julian will applaud, so will the rest of the crew. The rest of the coterie approves. The rest of the council approves. Everyone here. But they're frightened by the fact that this was a First Light agent. And the prince will say, "We fear the wrong things. We had no fear of this thin blood hack, this lick with some money and power, who took over our airport, controlled our access in and out of the city and our access to other cities. But instead, we fear the La Sombra." He gestures to Malenkov and to Sierra Van Burris. attacked on her first night in our city. My apologies. This was not an accident, he'll tell them. This was an act of insurrection, of defiance, and of deceit from within our own ranks. Newberry, son, present yourself. He had been obfuscated until this point, but he will come into view in front of everyone and step forward onto the floor in front of the prince, who just says to him, I know what you did. Run. Son panics and starts to run up the stairs towards the door, where he's blocked by 2 guards. The prince says, no, son, not that way. Run. And he points to the basement door. And son, slowly and in a panic, you could see the fear. He's physically shaking as he opens the door and leaves. The prince smiles. Enough of him for now. Now, what you may or may not know, Annabelle's Succubus Club has many levels. You are up at the party level, the dance floor, where the laser lights and good show goes on. Below, down that doorway, are cells, cages, private feeding areas for Kindred. And beyond that, an entrance to the labyrinth. If Son is going to survive, he has a chance to run. But he has to run the labyrinth. And the prince is very pleased about that. The labyrinth has turned many a kindred mad. It's easy enough to lose yourself down there, to go full wassail and become the beast entirely. People have told stories of the howls and screams, the blood-curdling screams that still echo through the labyrinth every night for the lost, forgotten beasts who were never able to escape. As for the rest of you, it will be up to you, he says. The La Sombra have seen the error of their ways. They wish to join the Camarilla. I ask you, my council, to vote on it. He's going to go around and ask each member of the council yay or nay. Do we accept the La Sombra? Do we not accept the La Sombra? And for each member of the council that he goes around to, a great many of them want to talk with you as a group about it. Critias will be the first to get a vote. He is the Brujah Primogen. He will come over to Lilith, Julian, Arthur, sister. Say, what have you learned? What do you know?
Apparently no one's going to answer.
You
you're the
cleared your
Brujah.
throat.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, sure. From my experience, they will be a huge asset to the Camarilla.
An asset. And what do you say, Julian, La Sombra yourself? Though trained differently, yes? taught?
I don't know. Trained, adapted. If my presence as carries any type of weight, if our relationship carries any type of weight, then you already know where I stand. I think that certain things are inevitable, and it's good to be in front of them.
This is the nature of my question for you. If my answer is yes, you would become their de facto leader. Are you prepared to accept that role?
With your guidance continued,
Oh, your flattery doesn't work on me, young man.
I think it does.
Oh, yes, it
Well,
does.
you're right, it does. All right. I see your point. Sister, any dissent on your part?
No. With what I've seen so far, we have a good smattering of La Sombra to choose from. I mean, just if they could be as strong as Malenkov or as politically astute as Sierra, or just really, really good at business like my friend Julian. They're perfect assets for the Camarilla.
You agree, Gangrel?
This effective immediately, or will they have some sort of probation?
I imagine, though I can't speak for the prince, but I imagine there will be a kind of probation.
As
And
wise.
probably more.
They are kindred of a singular kind, the Sombra. Their capabilities are things I have not seen in all my time.
It still stings him.
I'm getting that feeling.
But the fact of the matter is, one thing I've seen, whether they have fine manners or they are abrasive like some others, they are all wholesomely individual. It is that individuality, that obsession of self, that might rub the wrong way among the Camarilla. And something to be mindful of. That is all.
Excellent. Critias will come back to the prince and vote yes. Annabelle will jump out immediately and vote no. And glare at Critias. But that's all you see of Annabelle at this point. Khalid, the Nosferatu primogen, the one who's clad in his Arabian-style robes, walks over to you. He looks at you. Yes. I would like your counsel as well. And anybody that wants to can give me a wits awareness roll at this point.
Yeah. We do those.
There'll be a little bit of a threshold here, but there are things to learn.
I only got 3 successes.
3.
Hey,
I got 3 successes, but I'll do like willpower.
You're gonna spend some willpower on this one? It may not be that important. Or
I also got 3.
boy, people just do not want to know stuff.
Well, now you say that. Now I feel like I have to
I
burn
know,
willpower.
right?
Well, let's see how Julia does. Did you
I only rolled how many? I only rolled 1 die.
at 3? Yeah, I guess.
Willpower. Is it supposed to be that?
You can roll up to 3.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and spend 1 to reroll 2 of those. So
Lilith's gonna get there. When Khalid comes up to you, it's hard to recognize a Nos. There's a lot of deformation in the face. It's a very different color. It's very different pallor to it. But when he's speaking with you and he says, I would like your counsel, he gives you a little wink. And you could swear this is Cedric Calhoun in disguise. And
Okay.
wink, I think he was kind of letting you know, letting you in on it. Khalid is going to get a voice on this council as well. He's being asked whether or not he should allow the Lasombra in. He is leaning towards yes. But he tells you there will be a price to be paid.
What do you suspect that will be?
Whatever the prince decrees.
Well, it seems as if the prince was very clear on his intentions. So I suppose the real question is, do we want to go against those wishes?
He will accept the rule of law.
Of course, of course, of course,
Happens.
of course. I feel like any counsel that I would give on this matter would seem biased.
Yours is the voice I need to hear.
There's danger, certainly. But there's also the potential for far more danger if a variable remains a variable. Less ability to observe and potentially redirect.
Yes. Yes. Okay. Khalid will walk away and he will vote yes as well. Rosa Hernandez shouts out an immediate aye because she wants this.
I look up to Rosa and just very subtly just give a slight tilt of my head, just nod.
Mm-hmm.
The prince says we have a problem. Son is the Malkavian primogen. He is vampire non grata, no longer welcome in Chicago, no longer welcome in the Camarilla. But the Malkavians need a leader. Evan Klein, present yourself. And Evan Klein will step down in front of the prince. Crazy ass Evan Klein, a little twitchy. He's got his top hat on. He's, doesn't seem real interested. And he doesn't really want to talk to the prince. But the prince says, bring me Frank Goguen. And in that moment, Evan Klein's face changes. He takes off his top hat. And the square-jawed Ventru stands proudly in front of the prince and says, my liege. The prince is going to make Frank Goguen the new primogen of the Malkavians. Not Evan Klein, not Raymond Falcon, not any of Klein's other identities, but only Frank Goguen.
The Ventru.
The Ventru, this most loyal of all of Evan Klein's personalities.
The most Ventru.
He will always look out for his clan. The prince is pleased with himself, too. He thinks this is an excellent solution.
So subtle.
Gauguin gets his vote, and surprisingly, he votes no. Maybe not unsurprisingly. He is still possessed of that information that Sun gave him, that the Lasombra are here to infiltrate the city. He believes that. And Ventru or no, the vote is tied, isn't it? No, it's 3-2. Who will we move it on to? You haven't met Alexis Santos. They're the Hound, one of the prince's and Damien's trusted enforcers. Damien and Santos they're in an argument. They're in an argument about this whole thing. And Damien is trying to tell Santos to vote no. But Santos doesn't have to take Damien's orders. And as a Hound, she gets a vote of her own. Now, she hasn't been in on any of this. She doesn't know much about the Lasombra. She's never met you, Julian, so she doesn't know how the Lasombra really act or know any person. She's going to vote yes. And Damien just smacks her across the face.
Whoa.
Damien
She didn't like his music.
is incensed. He has a level of hate that he hasn't expressed yet for the Sabbat, for the Inquisition, for the idiocy of the Lasombra, especially the Lasombra overseas. They're crazy. He tries to point out that the Sabbat caused all of this. This Second Inquisition was all their fault. They went searching for antediluvians and Methuselahs so that they could face their elders and kill them, and in their process brought the wrath of the mortals down on all of Kindred society. Damien votes no, says fuck this, and leaves. It is incredibly disrespectful. It is directed at the prince.
I'm just looking at the prince.
He's keeping his cool. But you can tell that there's a job opening. Someone else is going to be sheriff. And it's not going to be Damien for much longer.
Arthur's not going to say anything. He's going to go and occupy the space that Damien just vacated.
No.
His hands at this fold the small of his back, and just to the prince.
This is a wonderfully subtle gesture that Rosa will come down out of the balcony, and give her a couple of minutes, she'll be standing beside you, just behind you and beside you, giving that credence to that little image. Maybe it takes, maybe it doesn't. Alan Sovereign is the seneschal. He is Jackson's closest ally. He's going to vote yes. That is going to put the vote over the top, and the Lasombra will be allowed to stay. The prince has a decree, however. Oh. Genghis does have an opinion. He doesn't get a vote, mind you, but he does step forward to speak to each of the Lasombra, not the Malkavians, the Sierra and Malenkov. Malenkov is standing at attention, hands behind him, not bound, he's just there. Sierra's more engaged. She's put on the blush of life. She's acting like she can breathe and smile, and she looks at Genghis and has a conversation with him. He says, "This is not for you. Come, join the Anarchs, and we will provide for you. We'll help rebuild and reestablish you. We won't put constrictive rules on you. We'll let you be yourselves." And Sierra just shakes her head and says, "You are a great fool, Genghis. Only the Camarilla can truly protect us."
I look sideways, just briefly, at Lilith.
I mean, I'll just kind of shake my head and make it like I didn't know this was coming, kind of a thing.
I think that might have had to do with the message. The Camarilla is the only way to protect us. In light of the Second Inquisition, in light of First Light agents, the rules of the Masquerade are more important now than they have ever been. You don't create sires and childer without permission, do you, Lilith?
I don't got nothing.
There's no evidence of that. What are you talking about?
There soon will be no evidence of it.
The Masquerade, the tenets of the Masquerade are the true structure of the Camarilla and the protection that it offers all kindred. It is about strength through protecting yourself from the mortals. Those are your greatest enemies. Not the Anarchs, not the Sabbat, not the Antediluvians, not the Methuselans. It's the mortals that knock on your door, that occupy the day when you control the night. So the prince has a decree. The Lasombra can stay. The Lasombra can come. But they bring with them an elder of the Sabbat. Their heart, their head, their ashes. Or bring them alive if you can, and we'll do the rest. This is what it will take. If you want into Chicago, you bring that. The Lasombra will then attend Critias's Eternal Academy. Pass or die. The Lasombra will hold no office of any import in the city for 50 years. The Lasombra shall renounce their clan. To come to Chicago, to be a part of the Camarilla, is to be Montano. And for a clan to be Montano, they need a leader. I present to you the primogen representative of the Montanos, Julian White. Step forward, Julian, and shake my hand.
Kind of a
Rosa's going to hear all the knuckles in Arthur's hands just crack as he clenches his fists.
And I would have come like visually probably uncomfortable as well.
And then the scope.
and as I hear and see these two, I'm like, the fuck did I miss?
He'll give the polite court laugh and just.
The prince has offered you his hand, Julian.
Yes. I will get up and I will graciously shake his hand.
He will ask you. He will put his hand over your hand, clasp it between both of his hands, and ask you straight up, do you accept this role?
I do.
Then
I'm married.
welcome
Sorry.
to the council. Julian White, Primogen of the Montano. A round of applause erupts throughout the room. I wish I should put some applause music in here.
I look at Arthur and I just tip my head towards him as he stands next to the prince, or behind the prince. And I look over towards Malenkov and Sierra.
Sierra walks up to you, Julian, and she kneels and bows her head.
Elder sister, please stand. Thank you for your warm welcome. I promise to do our very best together as a community to build the life that you want. For you and for all our brothers and sisters of the Camarilla.
Sierra thanks you and turns to the prince and says, I accept the terms. The prince snaps his fingers, and two retainers will bring out a long flat board with a cloth over it. When he removes the cloth, it is a large silver broadsword, passed down in the Camarilla for centuries now. He offers it to Sierra. Malenkov steps forward in front of you, in front of the prince, in front of Sierra, turns his back, and kneels. He says, for you, sister, I am your sacrifice. She grabs the sword suddenly and swings it with all of her might. A big, round move that catches Malenkov's head right at his neck, just above his shoulders. The blade is sharp and true. Malenkov's head dances on top of the blade and then falls to the ground. When Sierra turns back and puts the blade back on the board, covers it with the velvet cloth, you can see a tear of blood streaming down her face. And yet, a round of applause and cheers go up in the Succubus Club. A joyous occasion for some, a new day for others, the end of a hero. Not your hero, mind you, but elsewhere in this world, the tales of Malenkov are legendary. His greatest act may have been what he did here tonight.
Julian will concentrate for a second, close his eyes, and he'll do a rouse check.
Hungry or not, you can do it.
He will take Seer's hand and put his hand forward. And from the shadow that exists from where his hand extends to, tendrils will move forward and spread underneath Malenkov's body and kind of flip him into a more dignified position with his head resting on top of his chest. And that is it.
Sierra, in the coming days and weeks, will join Critias's class and sequester herself at the Diamond Yama. Over time, message will return to the Sabbat and to the La Sombra. The prince's decree will pass along with that there is a haven for the La Sombra. And the prince was very careful to choose his words. He asked for elders of the Sabbat, not specifically of the La Sombra. The Sabbat will be decimated, certainly, by those that wish to come to the Camarilla, and they may find their victims outside of their own clan. But Chicago will change after this. It will become a refuge for powerful, old, and interesting clans. You won't see much of them, Julian, for about 20 years until they start passing and appearing in society out of Critias's classes. There's another 30 years after that before they'll ever be able to challenge anyone for a political office. But they will all look to you for leadership, for the proper way to behave within the Camarilla, which is an irony that is not lost on any of your coterie mates.
Are you really going to set them on Arthur? You mean just as little irritants? Are you going to be that petty?
What made you think that I would do that? He seems so happy for me.
And Arthur, just so you know,
I'm not going to do that. I wasn't planning on doing that.
Rosa stood behind you as a show of solidarity. She put her hand on your shoulder and she whispers in your ear, Alpha. That's how she sees you. She knows your desires a little bit. She will ask the prince for permission to begin to rebuild the gangrel from within, from her alpha. You won't know an answer immediately, but in time you'll find that you may be able to start a crew of your own.
Where is the Montano territory?
Interesting question.
It's by the frickin' lake.
The territories of Chicago are mostly spoken for. The Malkavians, Sun in particular, had a big hold on the western corridor that had the medical facilities. There's hospitals, psychiatric facilities, specialties, specialists, that kind of thing, in kind of a row just along the highway that leads south from the airport. But Sun never really wanted that territory for the Malkavians. What Sun and Evan Klein always wanted as their territory was the downtown loop of the L, since that's where they did most of their business, their feeding. He would be the venture, Frank Gogan, would be interested in making this trade sort of with you. If you'll take over the western corridor of the medical facilities and support him in his claim for the loop as the Malkavian territory, you would end up with a very large swath of western Chicago.
And my businesses like Omni Media Group and where I currently live and my actual house whose territories are they not? Whose territories are they in? Are they would I have to ask permission to go to?
No, your haven's your haven.
Okay.
Your haven's your haven. What you would need permission for is any kind of feeding or activity on that would be contrary to the Masquerade on those grounds. You could feed and do whatever the hell you wanted on your own territory in the West.
Okay.
So I will actually kind of map out and show you what this territory looks like. And
whatever it is, we're going to start putting some funds into making it the nicest part of Chicago.
Okay. This is it's not an industrial section. It's like I said, medical corridor. So there's a lot of hospitals and things like that. But the further you move east on this corridor, that's where it gets into housing and parks and
maybe a nice university hospital.
There you go.
Okay.
The Succubus Club will kind of wind down in the early morning hours, 3-4 o'clock. Some will head downstairs into the feeding room. Some will just head home to their havens. All of the Primogen will stop by Julian and Arthur and Lilith and the sister to say their thanks, their appreciation, and then they will head out. The prince is going to stay behind for just a moment. And he's going to tell you two things. One, Damien doesn't have a job anymore. I'll be looking for a new sheriff. Until then, Alexa Santos will take over the role. She's not good for the investigative sort of work or the tracking down, that kind of thing. She's more the brute force, blunt object kind. So I'll ask one more favor of you. Sun can't survive. Not another day, another night. I'll ask you to do the unthinkable. Chase him into the labyrinth. End his life. Bring me proof.
Of the new Primogen as well. It is not an easy seat to refill. I'm not questioning your judgments, just wondering if Julian will be joining us or if he will be by your side as this transition happens.
Oh, I think you might need the shadows down there. Julian should go with you. I'm not trying to put him in danger, mind you. I'm just trying to keep the band together.
Of course. And besides, if anything were to happen to all of us down there, I mean, the next 20 to 30 years of Malenkov supporters who were considering joining the Camarilla, it would be just as dangerous up here as it is down there if something were to happen to me.
I'm sure you'll be fine.
I'm sure we all will, my liege. By the way, it's so nice to finally get to take our professional relationship to the next level. I thank you very much for the opportunity.
I look forward to your input.
I'm sure. Well,
and he's respectful. I'm going to point that out.
Well, I have a lot of planning to do for the new Montano territory. I will definitely consider your offer to have the Montano Primogen go into the labyrinth on his first day.
Look at it this way. If you die, what's the big deal?
There's the prince saying no. There he is.
And I don't mean that insultingly. No, all respect. But there are no other La Sombra, Montano, in the city.
There are no La Sombra in the city.
You are the primogen of a new generation as they come. But for right now.
Yes. Something to consider.
The prince has asked if you're going to go down into the.
And not presently, since it's going to be morning soon, I assume. Or is he asking like another day, as in we have the rest of this evening to bring Sonny back?
How much of a head start do you want to give him?
I think he means right now.
Yeah, I think he means right now. We're going down underground.
We're going now.
Yeah.
Then muster forces and permit me one moment with my own primogen, and I'll be with you promptly.
Rosa is waiting for you. What do you?
First of all, you can say this all seems very trite and somewhat tropish in case the worst should happen. But should the worst happen, you'll find in my office, should I meet true death, the lion's den will be yours, and that's of the gangrel. There are individuals there that if I am not the one who embraces them, that should the embraces be permitted, will make fine addition to our clan.
Don't talk like that.
But as I like to
talk like that.
If this is part of the plan, and the first thing to disappear when you meet the enemy is the plan, so everything will be fine. I'm just hedging my bets. But also, I ventured into a very special hell, and things there were alarming as they were interesting. There are those in the city, the dispossessed among our kindred and kind, that are might prove to be a greater threat to us than the thin blood.
Okay.
That's something to investigate. Something, should everything go according to plan, we can handle together.
When you come back, we will make a good plan.
But you know me, I love my contingencies. Anyway, I wish you a good evening, madame. I must go and be the hound for the prince once again.
Be careful down there.
Never too careful. What's the fun in that, huh?
Rosa will leave. You have some time. Now, it is after 3 a.m., and the labyrinth awaits, with sun getting further away every minute. But it is a tomb of its own. Were you to go down into the labyrinth now, you'd be able to be safe for the day, when the day comes. You could also choose to try to stay awake without being in threat of burning. There is no sunlight down there. Decisions, preparations, ideas.
I mean, just back to the talk we had with the Masonic Temple of Napalm, and then just kind of just point at that now. Sun would probably be he'd be trying to put I would assume as much square footage between us and him. So
Is there only one exit out of the labyrinth?
Exiting the labyrinth is about what you can find. There are many entrances and exits to the labyrinth.
Okay.
It's easy to get lost, turned around for days and days on end. Sometimes you get too hungry and lose yourself without being able to find food. You've got all kinds of challenges and dangers. But Sun needs to be brought to justice.
should we eat our fill before since this is a mission from the prince, we've got a license to do that, right? We just go into the feeding room beneath the Succubus Club, we all eat our fill, make sure we're all nice and full, so
the Succubus Club does provide. So in that basement area where Sun first disappeared into, in those cages and cells, you will find victims that you can slake your hunger, satiate yourselves.
Yeah, do that. And was he interacting with anything in the Succubus Club? I guess like any napkin, kerchief, did he have any, something he was holding that might retain a scent?
He was obfuscated from most of his appearance there. But let's say yes. I'll give you that, because following him through the labyrinth might be difficult without a kerchief or something that he dropped.
So Arthur he'll kind of retrace the steps he saw Sun taking until he finds it, take the pen and pick it up and inspect. Napoleon, this time to hunt, my good friend.
Well, Napoleon, if you give him that little bit of cloth, immediately looks towards that door.
Mm-hmm. And Arthur will just, with minimal contact, even he'll probably put on his leather gloves just to not contaminate the scent in any way, put it in his pocket, and when needed to refresh the trail for Napoleon as they go in. Then,
if that's the decision of the group, everybody going to join?
Yes.
I don't know what everybody else is do they have weapons? I'm deciding last based on what everybody else says.
What do you need?
So I'm waiting to see what everybody else.
Oh,
wants.
I have my handgun and my rosary with me, so I'm always packing that in my civilian gear.
Mm-hmm. And if I'm asked, Arthur will also provide hardware if people need it.
You've got your car. Arthur's got his vehicle, which usually has weapons in it. Sister, you, even if you don't have your gun, you at least have your rosaries.
Right. No, I just do the habit on top of what I was wearing. It just covers over, so.
I mean, I would have. There's no way I would have brought in what was it, a scorpion?
Yeah, you would
So
have brought
I would have asked Arthur to. I mean, I'm ready to do this, so I'll ask him what can he give
Yeah.
me.
Just for the weapons in his trunk, probably just a picking little smattering of decent firearms. The Scorpions being, fire select auto would probably be the best he's got, but he also would probably have like a shotgun, selection of handguns.
a quick run out to the car and then back into the club, and
Right.
we can have everybody properly equipped for a journey like this. It's going to begin in the early morning hours, so more than likely you're going to end up having to find yourself asleep in the tunnels under the city. And that is where we'll pick up from next time. Getting ready to go into the labyrinth.
That's never a good DM noise.
No, it's not.
Sun is the last bit of what just leftover business, I guess,
Seriously, why make him run the labyrinth if you're just gonna kill him anyway?
Right,
They
I mean,
beheaded
I would
Melenkov.
agree.
You could have totally beheaded the other guy.
Yeah,
Power play.
he didn't want Sun to get away, but he does want confirmation that Sun is dead. And he'll never get confirmation that Sun is dead from just letting him go into the labyrinth. So he needs to go find him.
This definitely feels like an under the table thing that the prince is doing.
Yeah. What did you do, Julian?
He has the respect and admiration of the prince. He is a member of the council. But
Yeah, but then he's getting sent into a freaking labyrinth.
Yeah, I don't
It's
know.
like,
I don't
what?
know. I don't know whether that respect part is so true.
you
Arthur
are
tried.
the only Lasombra.
I think
Do
I'm
some
not.
work.
There's no Lasombra anymore.
There's no Lasombra, they're Montano.
He took
Even
my
I'm gonna make
he
that
took my clan name. Like, I'm not going down there.
But we need you, Julian.
I know. I don't know what everybody thinks is gonna happen here, but like,
With your shadows?
I
Freaking make
know
him find him.
La Sombra Shadows would be really dope, super helpful, I'm sure. But like, don't take my clan name and then tell me to go in a fucking labyrinth. I'll think about it.
The clan name, and I'm sorry if that offends you, but
Was it not supposed to?
no, I think Montano is an opportunity for you to reclaim that name as
Take the word back.
Oh my god, yeah, seriously. Taking it back.
So, like me, I'm taking back honky.
Oh my god.
Lord.
Well, remember, Filipinos only use click names. It's fine.
Whew, we've covered so much ground tonight,
I've
viewers.
offended
Thank you so much for joining.
Oh my lord.
That was great.
Look, I think you ended up with a great deal, Julian.
Yeah, tough.
You did, even if it's just for the worth seeing Arthur's face and hearing his bones pop, and I'm just like, the hell is happening right now?
It's not like he's just there, just like breaking his hands. I'm sure Rosa was just been like a.
Arthur moved pawn to e4.
Yep.
And then Julian goes, boop. That's fine.
Well, you guys, you are all fantastic. My cast is wonderful. Everybody, say hello and say who you are. Melen Ray, let's start with you.
Hi, Melen Ray. Sorry I wasn't as bubbly, but I'm sick, so
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry.
glad I was here, and I'm not looking forward to this labyrinth.
Experiences. Gonna be great stuff.
If we don't have our Montano with us, that makes me feel dirty saying it that way. If we don't have Julian with us, I don't like that word.
Talk to him. See if you can't get him to join you.
We'll talk.
And Grace, say hello, because you're kind of going a little robot. Get you while we can.
Fair enough. I'm Grace, play Lilith, and she's gung-ho. Who knows what's going to happen down there, but
Exactly.
it'll be a ride.
Oh, I should mention Genghis. He wants you to stay, in the Camarilla.
Yeah.
He's just kind of try to push you, like, don't make too many waves.
Right.
Try to.
And I mean, it would have been something that I would have kind of initiated as well.
Even if he believes that you're, a little more anarch, he needs the influence on the inside. So
right.
He's going to push you that way a little bit, like, oh, just stay a little while longer. So thank you, Grace. You'll also see her Wednesday nights, Tales of a Savage Land with me and Arthur Valand.
Oh.
I'm Alex Maxwell, bringing you Arthur Valand today, and the first ever good rolling I have done on Roll20. Anytime it's been a Wicked Studios thing and I rolled on Roll20, it just kept on kicking me in the nuts, but not today. So I'll take that. That's
the home team did huge in that tournament, hugely well in that tournament.
So proud of my boys.
Yeah, good stuff. Good Chicago, club fighting. That's that. Man, I would have gone to a night like that. That was awesome. Well, everybody, thank you. I am your storyteller, Uncle Tony, on the YouTubes, and Stupid Tony on Twitter, if you find me there. Wicked Studios is where we're at here on Twitch, and they do a shit ton of stuff. Oh, Julian, did we not say hi to you?
All right, you're being too much of the prince there, Tony.
He's a Montano. It's fine.
I'm trying to go down the number. I got one frame that's off.
I remember this. I pointed. I was like, that person.
Okay. I am Wes. I was so fun being here on Wicked Studios for my last game ever. I enjoyed the relationships I built, the friendships along the way. Yeah, you can find me here and on my other channel, Geeks on Seats, where we stream a Dress and Files role-playing game and a Forgotten Realms game. And soon on here, I'll be in a Saltmarsh game.
Are you doing Saltmarsh? Awesome.
I believe so. But the link in the chat, I will
put a link in the chat. So
Greyhawk. Greyhawk. Yes, not Saltmarsh. Greyhawk. Sorry.
Greyhawk.
It hasn't started yet. I'm not wrong. Hasn't started
Monday nights, the downroll drops on Wicked Studios. Tuesdays is when Tales of Greyhawk happens. Wednesday is Tales of a Savage Land. And then Saturday, right before us, is Saturday Morning Superheroes. And then our vampire game, which has got just like 2 weeks left to go. But if you guys are interested, I do have a chapter 2 to this chronicle that we can get into in the new year.
If we get out of the labyrinth.
If you make it out of the labyrinth alive. Otherwise, new characters, right?
Or we just, we all see what we look like when we become, decrepit monstrosities.
Don't lose yourselves in the labyrinth, man. You'll be down there a long, long time.
I have the medical area now, so you guys are free to stay over there once you guys get out if you want.
I will map that out for you, too.
Dude, if I lose myself in the labyrinth wearing my habit, do I actually become that horror nun?
Oh, God.
Great.
The nun, from The Conjuring?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Yes. Mother Meth.
Well, again, thank you, everybody. It's been a great show, and thank you to Will DM for producing it and putting us up here on Wicked Studios. Tune into all these other shows that we're all a part of, because we do some great content. We're doing some great stuff that I'm really proud of and happy with, and I think it's entertaining. So thank you all again, and with my will, let's turn off the Twitch stream. Is it off?